Hello, this is Ghostbit Miner coming at you from the power of YouTube through the internet itself. Okay guys, so what we're going to do is we're finally got that motherboard in because the last one got damaged. And again, we're just going to go to put this motherboard on and run some cards on here. The setup's already ready for 6 cards, and today I'm going to be doing the GTX 1060s all the way around on this rig. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through step by step of how to put a motherboard together for a mining rig, including the BIOS, and also including how much power you need to run actually 6 cards. Okay guys, so let's go to take a look at that. Okay guys, so before I get started, let's see what came in this package. So what I like to do is actually order stuff off of Amazon's refurbished line, which is, I think it's called Amazon Warehouse or something like that. Normally you save about $50 depending on what you're ordering from. Let's see, this took a while to get here, almost about a week, even though it says Prime 2-day shipping. Just took a while. So first thing you do is right away, it does not it does not come in actually the factory box, which is okay. Again, you're saving some money. So if I can open this thing, oh, here we go. Wow. So my question is, what are these? This is interesting. Again, I've been getting motherboards for a long time, especially from Asus, and I've never seen this type of, I guess, backplate right there for that, which is kind of weird. So we got the Asus 170A manual, and then some features right here. They might come with a driver card. So we'll look into that. Again, what we're going to be doing today is all the steps into this. This thing's pretty nifty right here. Shows you all the little plug and play for all the power and all that good stuff. Let's see if we can get a focus shot on that. Yeah, so you can kind of see right there. Makes the job a lot easier, so you don't have to use the manual constantly. Got some hardware right there. This is kind of cool. So SLI configuration. So if you wanted to put this on your gaming kind of motherboard, you can do so. Got some little foam in there, and then I guess the good thing is it comes in an anti-static case or a protective package. Not too bad, guys. I think this was like 65 bucks on Amazon Warehouse. Looks pretty good to me, so we're gonna go ahead and take apart the old one and put the new one together. So let's go ahead and take some shots of that. Okay guys, so this was the old setup I had right here. This was the motherboard that the dogs knocked over and killed. I don't know what's going on. It's not turning on at all, so I'm guessing they just broke the motherboard itself. So what we're gonna have to do is put some surgery on this, take out the Intel Pentium core processor and my 2 4 gigabyte RAM sticks right there for a total of 8 gigs. The cool thing about this other one is this one only has 6 PCIe slots, and this one right here has 7, so that's gonna make it better in the long run. And plus, you can always change that M.2 to a PCIe with an adapter. This is the new one. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. We'll go ahead and start taking this motherboard apart. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and firstly take off the fan. So I just started to disconnect that. And always make sure before you touch the motherboard or any type of electronic part, make sure you're grounded by an anti-static bracelet, or just touch a big metal part of something. So I touched the power supply. So you wanna take these off by untwisting this, and these should just pull off pretty easy. Pull them straight up, and there goes your stock fan, if I can get it. Where is it stuck on? So there we go, that's the stock fan right there. Pretty good job on the thermal grease. Let's go ahead and take stuff apart. So the first thing I want to do is actually transfer the RAM to the new one, okay? So let's go ahead and speed that up. So you just want to pull straight up. I'm going to place this to the side for now. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the anti-static bag. So just pull it up. Anti-static bag. And let's go ahead and take this off right here. So it comes straight up. So what we're going to use to take off the thermal grease is going to be some alcohol. So let's go ahead and show you what I'm going to be using. So here we go, we're going to pour a little bit of alcohol on this little cloth right here. So again, this motherboard's fried, so we don't have to worry about breaking any of the components off. But never touch the back of the CPU, so just grab it right there. Just rub it a little bit. We should take it right off. And just like that, it's coming off. See, almost all off. This can get a little messy. Okay, that's pretty good. There it is. Almost 100% clean, so let's put some more on it. Let's make sure it's nice and clean. Let's dry it off with a damp portion. And there it is, back to normal. Ooh, Intel Pentium G440. Woo! Yeah, this is pretty much all you need for mining, guys. Nothing, you don't need a i7 or anything like that. In case we're gonna go to move the old hardware out of the way, especially the broken motherboard. So I pulled everything off of it. That's the old one. Let's throw this to the side for now. And let's go ahead and put that new one on there. Remember, always touch something, metal, or wear an anti-static bracelet. So here comes a new one. And keep in mind this little shelving unit right here, it has a plastic layer over the metal actually, so it's well, it's actually non-conductive, so it works out pretty well. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and reinstall everything we just took out. So here we go, guys. So you can leave this in or take it out. I prefer to just take it out. When you're putting these in, make sure to put triangle to triangle. And what I like to do is I like to gently wiggle, just like that, so everything's in place. Okay, and then you just want to press down. Here we go. So that's the CPU. Gonna grab the RAM sticks. Go ahead and put these little guys in there. Open up some space. For these, it's going to be two of the black ones because it's a 2-channel RAM. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Here we go. Press down. There we go. Let's get the other one. Same idea, just in the same idea, just in this different one right here. Always make sure your little levers are open. See what's going on. There we go. There we go. Here we go. There we go. Everything's clipped in. And now you're going to put some thermal grease right there. The thermal grease I like to use is the G7 from Thermaltake. Okay, so you just want to put a right size right there in the middle. That's all you need. Again, what I like to do is always put these in the open position before I put it on there. Plug it in to the CPU fan right there. Okay guys, so before installing, what you want to do is make sure all these arrows are going to be counterclockwise, okay? So you don't want the arrows facing inwards like that, you want them out. So let me go ahead and zoom in on that. It makes it a lot easier to install. So let's go ahead and take a look at the arrow. So you see how that's right there? That's the way you want it. You don't want it in like that. That's optimal for taking it out. But for putting it in, you want to make sure the arrows are not actually in like that, okay? And what you want to do before, I like to do is make sure you're plugged in right there. So that's the way you want it to look. Let's go ahead and put it on our motherboard, on our CPU like that. And here we go. So you want to put it in those little holes. So you just want to wiggle it. You want to make sure everything's moving, and then all you do is want to press on the opposite side. And you hear a little snap. So that one's in, then there we go. Just like so. Just like so, it's on there. Okay, so a good way to know that your CPU is on there fully, so you want to flip it over nice and gently, and you want to look right there. And on the back portion, you'll see those white things sticking up. You want to make sure the black is equally sticking out, okay? So that means we're actually, the CPU fan is actually on there perfectly fine. Okay guys, moment of truth. So let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on. So with these boards, right away you'll see a green indicator light. So let's see if you can see it. It's kind of hard to see actually on the camera, but it's right there. So now that we have everything on, we're going to go ahead and hit this switch. I plugged all the connectors in, and in the back, as you see right here, is I'm going to be using like a linker so I can actually have two power supplies plugged in. So, moment of truth. So, okay, fan turns on, got a red light there. I have a screen connected. There's another light right there. So this is exciting, and another light. But we got a post screen right there, so that's good news. So what we're gonna do is just strike F1, sorry. And that's gonna put us in the BIOS screen. Because the first thing you always wanna do, this is also a very good sign, you can see the CPUs right there. And it shows you what type of CPU it is. So that means everything we did worked out pretty good. Not bad. That means my $65 motherboard works. So what you want to do is actually go to, because you want to actually look at the, most important thing you want to do is actually make sure you're updated on your BIOS. So that's what I like to do before I even put in any type of hard drive or anything like that, is make sure the BIOS is updated. Before I even actually tweak the BIOS setting for a 8-card rig, I want to go ahead and just update the BIOS. Okay, so I just plugged in a Ethernet cable so we can get some internet on here. So what you want to do to actually, first step of any mining rig is to update the BIOS. You're going to go right here to advanced mode. You're going to go to tools, so I'm already at tools. You're going to go to ASUS Easy Flash 3 Utility. And you're going to say via internet. Next. Then it's going to say, are you sure you want to update? And you're going to say yes. So the screen will turn off, it'll turn back on, and we'll just show you how this works. So here it goes, it's already rebooting, so we'll go ahead and show you a pretty view of that. Look at that potential right there. ASUS is loading up over there, I'm so happy. So that means everything I did worked. So again, go back to via internet. What you want to go to is at DHCP, next. Okay, so latest bio file, there we go. Do you want to download this file? Okay, so hit that, it's going to be downloading it right there. So just go ahead and wait a little bit. Again, all we're running off of is actually the CPU, so that's pretty cool. And then it says, you really want to update BIOS? Yes, because it was just successfully downloaded, so yes. Okay, so there we go. You see the process right there. It's going to go ahead and do its thing. So this is always essential. This is the way I like to do all my mining rigs, is start off with updating your BIOS via internet. Then after you do that, you're going to do the BIOS settings. After the BIOS settings, you're going to go ahead and put a hard drive on there. Since I already have a hard drive with everything preloaded on there, I'm not going to have to worry about installing Windows. I do have a video that I'll put up right there in the top right corner that will show you how to install Windows and how to get Windows for free, which helped me out. It's pretty easy, especially if you're just using the rig for mining only, so not too bad. Okay guys, so the first thing you want to do for your settings for a mining rig that's greater than 2 cards, you know, like an 8-card mining rig, you want to go to advanced mode. Then from here, the first thing you want to go into is going to be actually advanced again. Then we're going to start off with, let's go ahead and start off today with systems agent. So it's going to be right here, our SA configuration. And then we're going to go into DIM OPI configuration. And right here for the DIM max link speed, go ahead and put that to Gen 2. Okay. Then we're going to go click right here. We're going to hit back and out. Now we're going to go to the PEG port configuration. And for the link speed, go ahead and put this to Gen 2. Okay, link speed 2, Gen 2. And then for the spread spectrum clocking for the PCIe, you're going to go ahead and put this to disabled, okay? So backing out again. For this one, we're going to go all the way backing out to the advanced screen. And now we're going to go into, let's go ahead and check this out. We're going to go into PCH configuration. And from here, we're going to go to PCIe Express configuration. And then a PCIe speed, again, Gen 2. So we're going to go backing out. So that's pretty much the main portion of the settings for the PCIe, especially if you're going to run more than 2 cards. If you're going to run 8, this is the only way to do it. And now the last thing we're going to go to is go to boot. On the boot menu, I like to have fast boot enabled. So next boot after AC power loss, I have it on normal boot. Some people like fast boot. Again, I'm going to pretty much live in my mining rig. I mean, live in my mining room, so I'm right there, so I can always turn it back on. A lot of people like using that if they have like a Wi-Fi adapter to turn the power on and off on the rig. But for me, it's right next to me, so it's easy to do. Anyway, so most important thing you're going to do to run any of these cards for mining, especially over 2 cards, is going to be above 4G decoding. Go ahead and hit enabled. Okay, so that's what you want to do, and then you're going to go ahead and hit exit. And you're going to say pretty much save changes and reset. So it's going to show you every single setting there. So if you want to, let me zoom in right there. If you want to take a picture of that and work off of that, especially if you want to run some cards for mining, take a picture of that. And this is on a Asus A170A motherboard. Again, very good for mining because it has 7 PCIe slots, okay? So hit OK, and it's going to restart. Okay, so the motherboard is off, the power is off. So we're going to go ahead and grab my hard drive. And yes, this is a hard drive. This was like 14 bucks. The power usage is kind of a little bit higher than a solid state drive, and it is a lot slower. But again, this was on my videos for the cheapest mining rig possible, so I really cheaped out on everything. So let's go ahead and plug it into where it says OS driver, just like that. And again, the reason why I don't have anything zip tied down just yet is because I'm trying to see what space I have to use. So I just definitely unplugged everything. So I'm going to move it around and work with it. Okay guys, so everything's plugged in. I put my SATA power into the hard drive, and I made sure it's all spaced apart. So now we're actually going to be able to boot up to Windows. So let's see what we get here. Because again, when the dog knocked everything down, it also knocked down the hard drive, which hard drives are not meant to be tossed around. You can pretty much do that to an SSD because it's a non-mechanical, but with a mechanical drive, it's a little different. So again, I have no graphics cards on here. I just put my BIOS settings on. Let's see what happens. So in search of incredible, here we go. So we're actually booting up from my old hard drive that was off of one of my other mining rigs. So let's see, that's a good sign. And I have no graphics cards on again. So I just want to see the settings, make sure all the settings are proper. One other thing you want to do is to make sure your internal graphics are disabled. A lot of times when you plug, even if you're doing a gaming rig, you're going to make sure they're disabled because your computer won't let you actually plug into a graphics card. Sometimes, depending. It happened to me once and I was all freaked out. So let's go ahead and wait for this to load up for Windows. Let's see. I think this one was called Ghost Miner 2 or something like that. So it should pop up just like it was that other machine. So let's see. It's taking some time getting devices ready because again, this is a really old school hard drive, but this should be a pretty good plug and play. I got everything set up. One other thing I like to do is make sure you're only using two SATA per PCIe riser. These are going to be right here. These are the riser version 7 and this is the version 9S, which is a lot better because you get to put that SATA straight into that PCIe, where you have to use an adapter right here from a Molex to a PCIe, which again increases the likelihood of less power draw and increase the likelihood of fire. So yeah, but again, this is my old mining PCIe riser, so I'm just going to go ahead and use them since I have them. Okay guys, so everything looks pretty good. Yep, Ghost Miner 2, so it's pulling up as a machine that got tossed on the floor by my Akita. Pretty cool, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna make sure that everything looks good. Popping it up, looks good, everything's running good. I'm gonna go to Device Manager. And I'm just gonna make sure the internal graphics are off. And then I'll start I'll start putting some cards on and start mining. And what I like to do is I like to put one card on at a time just to make sure. So let's see, let's go ahead and see it's already disabled. So as if you can see right here, since this was already my my main hard drive for my other miner, I always have them disabled. So let's go ahead and turn it off and start putting some graphics cards on, one card at a time. I like to do that. So if there is anything wrong with a PCI riser or graphics card, I can troubleshoot one at a time. So here we go, let's turn it off and let's start. Okay, moment of truth. So we're gonna go ahead and hit the power button. Everything's in there. GPU's booting up nice and normally. Looks like the fans went to full speed. PCIe riser has power. Everything looks pretty good, it looks pretty solid. Let's go ahead and wait for this to turn on. And then we'll go to Device Manager and see if it's working. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Device Manager. There we go. Click on that. And then you want to go into device adapters, and there's a GTX 1066 gig. So we're going to do this 6 times. Also guys, I forgot to include one step before you install any graphics cards. Make sure to download the latest drivers from the website. Okay, and here we go. Okay guys, so just like that, the 6-card GTX 1066 gig mining rig is complete. It did take a little bit of time. Really what I had to do was update the drivers and install one card at a time. So let's see some updates. So that's the old motherboard right there, torn apart. I got the Intel Pentium core processor in there. All the PCIe riser cables are connected. everything's running very smoothly. There's my hard drive right there clocking away since it's mechanical, and I have one 850 BQ right there, and another hanging from the back, which is a 850 G2 edition. Which what I like to do on these is, on the cheaper one, this was like $69 from Best Buy, I like to run 2 cards and all the PCI risers. Well, actually I run 5 PCI risers off of this one. So this one's riser central, and this one right here runs 4 VGA power cords over here to run 4 cards, which runs very smoothly. So I like to run that one because this one has an option to do 4 VGA connections. This one only has an option to do 3. So that's why I do it like that, and it runs very smoothly. So over here I have my kilowatt attached to the wall. I've been running it for about an hour. So as you see right here, it's $61.84 a month. I'm gonna go over here. I actually want to get out of this one. Let me see. So with these 6 cards, it's only actually pulling 860 watts from the wall. I do have them only at 80% power, and it keeps them cool. And these are the way the GTX 1060s work. They don't draw that much power from the wall. Again, this is 6 cards, so that's not bad at all. $61 a month in cost for electricity. And right now I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Crypto Compare, and I'll see how much we're gonna be making off this 6-card GTX 1060 mining rig. So as you can see right here, we're looking at 1,016 solutions a second. That's what we're averaging on this machine. So let's pull up Crypto Compare and let's take a look at that. This is Ghost Bit Miner. So let's go ahead and take a look at how much money we're gonna be making off of this crypto miner. So first off, we're mining Zcash off of Nano Pool. And like I was saying before, we're getting 1,916 solutions a second. Let me take that 0 out of there. Okay, so that's not too bad. We're looking at $4.21 before taking away from electricity. So that's $126.34. So it's not too bad. You know, I like to pull my my wattage from the kilowatt itself, since you're pulling the whole power for the whole rig, not just the cards. So that was 870 watts for the whole rig. And over here in San Antonio, it's 10 cents a kilowatt. So as you see right there, we're at $4, now we're at $2. But if you look at the profit ratio per day, we're still at 101%, whatever that means, and we're making $63.70 after paying electricity cost, which is pretty bad, guys. I remember back in December, I was making a lot of money, about $700 off this mining rig. Well, I had a couple mining rigs, but still, you know, I think right now Zcash is only worth $184. That's not very high. Back then in December, it's worth about $700. So you can see why I was making so much. And it says right here, so per month you're mining 0.699 of a Zcash. And a year you're gonna mine 8.5 Zcash. So if you save all those coins up, guys, you know, that's what it's about. Just pay. Well, this is not financial advice, but what I want y'all to think about is what I do is I pay out of pocket for electricity costs, and I save these coins. Okay, guys, I'm gonna save all these coins until the market goes back up. I'm not gonna sell these coins until the Zcash hits $500. And then I might sell 30% and hold them again. But again, guys, that's just my 2 cents. So anyways, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And please remember to subscribe, guys. Awesome. I'll see you in the next video.